Does Jesus get me? I mean, really, does Jesus get us? Does he really understand what I'm going through, what I'm up against, what I'm dealing with on a daily basis? I mean, Jesus was on the earth 2,000 years ago. So much has changed since then. Does he really get me? That's what this morning's manna is about this morning. And it is a trailer, if you will, to the sermon this coming Sunday. And we will begin this whole series. Does Jesus get me? I want to break that down because I really believe that maybe we think cognitively, but do we know it spiritually? Do we know it deep within our hearts? Does Jesus get me? Does Jesus get me? Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And I certainly have a word for you on this morning. You can be sure of that. And it is actually a trailer for the sermon series that begins this Sunday. And if you're a life changer, you already know it's Can't Miss Communion Sunday. And I do have a word for you. We typically kick off the series for the month on the first Sunday. So, therefore, I got a word, and it is, does Jesus get me? That's right. I want to come and really speak to that because, as I said, you may know this cognitively, but do you know it spiritually? Do you know it within your heart? Do you know it deep, deep within to the point that you can grab a hold of that? I'm going to give you some handles for that this morning. But before I do that, let's greet some people on this morning. What a great morning it is. Good morning, Brother Nesbitt. How are you on this morning? Vaughn, how are you on this morning? Pamela, how are you on this morning? Laura, how are you on this morning? Arlene, how are you on this morning? Ori, how are you? Verena, how are you? Verena, I think I saw you in church on Wednesday night. Thank God. Praise God. I hope it blessed because we went in. It was powerful. It was really powerful on Wednesday night. Good morning, Francine. How are you? Gerald, how are you? Elder Jan, how are you? Dawn, how are you? Yeah, the elders really prayed. First Lady and I started it, but they took it on in. Good morning, Brenda. How are you? Anna, how are you on this morning? Olga, how are you? Carolyn, that is Brenda's sister, of course. Lenore, how are you on this morning? Brother Joey, how are you, Minister Joey? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope to see you Sunday. Good morning, Denise. How are you? Dennis, how are you? Uh, Jacqueline, how are you doing on this morning? Vicky, how are you? Linda, how are you all on this morning? This morning, I want to raise the question, and you may think, well, the answer is pretty straightforward, but really, you may know this cognitively, but do you know it spiritually? Do you know it biblically? Do you know it to the point that you can now operate your life? This question: does Jesus really get me? Does Jesus get me? I mean, he was born and he walked the earth 2,000 years ago. What all has changed since then with the deals and the things that I'm up against? The text to talk to take away 5 minutes or less. Here we go. Here it is. Hebrews 4:15. Hebrews 4:15. In every way Jesus was tempted, but yet without sin. In every way Jesus was tempted, but yet without sin. There's three things I want to share with you. There's going to be far more this coming Sunday, but just three things that I want to share with you to answer this question. Does Jesus get me? And here it is. The first thing is that he sees me, and therefore he searches me, and that's how he gets me. He sees me. Everybody doesn't see you. And he searches me. Psalms 139 and 23 said, he searches my heart and he knows me full well. He searches my heart and he knows me full well. He gets me because he knows me, because he searches me, because he sees me. He knows my innermost being, my thoughts from afar. He knows my going out and my coming in, and he doesn't tell everybody. How about that? He doesn't tell everybody because there's some shown up stuff that, boy, I'm so thankful that he gets me, but he doesn't expose me. Isn't that something? Because some people, when they get to know another side of you, they will expose you or leverage it against you. Not Jesus. He sees me and he gets me and he keeps it to himself. How do I know? Because he supports me. He supports me because he intercedes on my behalf. He does. He intercedes on my behalf. He's at the right hand of the Father, Romans 8:34. He's at the right hand of the Father. What is he doing? He's not just chilling, he's interceding. He tells the Father about me and nobody else. He goes in and the Father is holy. The Father is holy. And he says, I'm covering them with my blood. I see them and I'm covering them. Hebrews 7:25 said he always lives to intercede. He always lives to intercede. First John 2:1 says that he is my advocate. Oh my God. I don't know about you, but when I'm not in the room, I need somebody to advocate for me. I need somebody to come and speak up on my behalf. I do. I really do. He sees me, he supports me, and he sympathizes with me. What does that mean? In Philippians, it says that he did not think it robbery, but he left the throne and all that it had to come and be clothed in humanity. What does that mean? He can sympathize with wearing this flesh. And I don't know about you, but this flesh don't always wear well. Can I say that one more time? This flesh does not always wear well. But he sympathizes with me because he wore this flesh like me. That's how he can still do it. He sees me, he supports me, he sympathizes with me. What's the takeaway this morning? The takeaway is this. He is going to take me all the way in and keep me because he gets me. He gets me. He's going to protect me. You can be sure of that. You can be sure of that. I'll have more when we start this whole series. I want to take you from a cognitive understanding to a biblical and a heart understanding that Jesus really does get you and me. And that's going to change your life. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. I'll see you starting in prayer 24 hours today. This afternoon, all the way to Saturday morning, is all about us coming before the Lord. And then First Fruit Sunday, and can't miss communion. It's going to be a great weekend. Share the man. If it bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself.